Hi, I just thought I'd show you a simple mod today that will make your life much easier, especially for people like myself. It turns out now I'm in my 60s, I'm not quite as keen as riding in the winter in the freezing drizzle as I assumed I was going to be. So that obviously I'm going to lay out the bike for the winter, which hopefully that time is coming to an end now. So what you need is a battery tender, and I'll show you why. And I can use the iPhone for that. Right, here we are with the bike. I've got the side panel and the seat off. But to get to both the battery terminals on this bike, which are buried down there, you need to first remove this right hand side panel that you do with the key. Then you need to pop off the seat, and then you have to remove the left hand side panel, and that gives you access to the negative side of the battery, so you could fix your crocodile clips on there. Right, obviously that's way too much hassle for any normal person. Quite apart from anything else, to get the left hand side panel off, you have to remove this screw. Now I don't know if you can see there, that screw, that scratch was left there by the dealers when I returned the bike, which misled me, which I'll get onto in a minute. Okay. So what you want to do is, if you get an oxidizer or an Optimate, an Oxford Optimate, this is an oxidizer, it comes with a permanent connection that you can attach to the battery terminals in the box. Okay, so what you've got to do is do this once, remove that side panel, then you can actually access the battery terminal from up here. You need access from up here to fit it, because I managed to do it. See how close this bike is to the wall? I managed to do it without actually moving this bike, so this is where you get access, and you've only got to do it once. Fit on the permanent connection to the terminals, and you can have it coming out here. Right, I've got it here. We can tuck it behind there. Very easy run. And that way, the only thing you've got to take off to put your battery on a tender is the right hand side panel, which is the easy one. You can do it with the key. Okay, because this screw here, which you've got to undo to access the left hand side panel, is in fact incredibly awkward. It's not difficult to get an Allen key there, but it's incredibly difficult to get your fingers in to extract it. And I have seen someone suggest you put a GoPro knob. Oops. Oh shit. Right, a GoPro knob like this. Right, that fits in there. But as far as I can see, maybe I can show you this. Right underneath the fixing bracket there, I'm not sure you can see it, but yeah, you can. There's a bundle of wires, and that is much longer than the screw, so I don't really fancy doing that really. Although if the dimensions work out, or you can get a shorter one of those, I dare say that's a really good mod. So yeah, that's it. If you get your permanent connection to the battery, you can run it out here, switch on your oxidizer and forget it, basically. That will keep it going all winter, conditioning your battery. Now the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the dealer and my relays, because if you remember the history of this bike, after 2 weeks I gave it back to the dealer because it just kept on cutting out, and I looked when I got it back and I saw that scratch on the fixing bracket for the left hand side. I'll show you. This scratch here, and I thought, oh, they've been in. And they've cleaned out the grease from the relays. And I tried to pull the relays to get them out, to have a look, to check. And I couldn't for the life of me get them out with my fingers. I haven't got weak fingers. I mean, they were really jammed in there. So much so that I went away and checked with someone who knows the electrical systems on these bikes that there wasn't some sort of catch or something I was missing that was keeping them in. And I'd never have known that before on any other relays I've dealt with on any other bikes. So I couldn't check, but what I did was I ordered some Hitchcock's uprated relays. I've had troubles with relays before on bikes. I really didn't want to go through that. So I ordered up the relays, got them, tracked down someone who knew that they were talking about. They told me that the relays were definitely push-pull. There's no catch or anything. So I thought, right. So I got the pliers and the buggers. And what I found was this. Okay, the dealer had not bothered cleaning the grease off the relays before taking, while he had the bike in for a week, while he hooked it up to the internet, if what they say is true, and the factory in Madras logged onto it and tried to reset it. All that was done and returned to me without doing the grease on the relays. And if you remember, the clutch was completely out of adjustments. I found there was that big scratch. I found other things as well that I won't go into here, because this is the last time I'm mentioning a dealer, because he's now out of my life. There's no way I'm taking it to them for servicing. So what I'm going to do is get, for the first service, get a Hitchcock service kit and some oil. Take it to a local mechanic, the same one who does my MG. He's a proper mechanic who does a few bikes on the side, and I think I've got him to agree to do this one, because I'm not letting those people anywhere near my valves. I mean, I just can't imagine. I have zero faith in them now, and that's the last time I'm going to mention. The next nearest dealer I've got is Swindon. Right, Swindon is about 30 miles away. I'd have to go there at 4,000 revs. There's a good fast road. I mean, there's the M5, and then I can switch over to the A417, provided there isn't any block on Birdlip. That's the most direct way. But I'm not prepared to take this on the motorway while I'm running it in. You just haven't, it'll only do 60, 4,000 revs. No. So, right, now Swindon, I worked in Swindon for a bit. I got a weekend job and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting people from Swindon and all that. But I can't say Swindon is on my bucket list of tourist attractions that I really want to go and spend the day in while I service this bike. It's a long way away. So that's what I'm going to do, buy the Hitchcock service kits and get a local competent mechanic, someone who knows what he's doing, to service it for me and do the valves. And that's it. That's a really basic, really easy 10-minute upgrade you can make to your bike, which will save you a lot of trouble if you're like me and you're a bit of a fair weather biker. I'm just getting on a bit. I just don't fancy the winter. It will happen to you. Okay. Thanks very much indeed for watching. See you next time.